before that and after the one where I turned into the human hot dog.
Happy anniversary! No.
Oh! Carol! This sucks eggs. Bullseye, Tracy. Here, bullseye. Let's go, let's go! Go!
Be careful, you all right? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey there, lovers of yesteryear. Welcome to Gen Excellence, where today we're going to deep dive into one of the shows that made the 80s and 90s totally fantastic to grow up in. We're talking about a classic show that made us laugh, cry, and occasionally wonder how Jason and Maggie Seaver managed to juggle careers and parenting all those kids, especially Mike. Yep, it's Growing Pains. From Mike's rebellious antics to Carol's intellectual charm, this show was a staple of family TV. But even diehard fans might not know everything about it. That's why I'm going to discuss 10 things you probably didn't know about Growing Pains. Get ready for some behind-the-scenes secrets, surprising guest stars, and a little drama you never saw on screen. So grab your favorite 80s snack, sit back, relax, hit the like button, and let's get into the Seaver family and some things you might not have known about Growing Pains.
Macho Man Randy Savage, the cream of the crop.
Yards! He scores! The Bulls lead 80s.
Girl, your hair's so nappy, Wilson couldn't pick it.
This is Max Headroom.
Are you kidding?
At number 10, Alan Thicke and Joanna Kerns considered dating off-set. In an interview with the HuffPost in 2015, Alan Thicke revealed that he and his Growing Pains wife, Joanna Kerns, discussed dating off-screen. Alan Thicke called Joanna Kerns one of the great wives, but the leading lady only got the chance to fill that role on screen, despite a flirtation between the actors off-set. When Growing Pains started, she had just been canceled from a show and divorced. He had just been canceled from a show and divorced. And they liked each other right off the bat. However, Kerns and Thicke thought it through and decided to keep things platonic. We made a very intelligent decision that the show might last longer than a relationship would. So would it be smart to just be friends and have that little bit of chemistry and preserve that? The actress who played Mrs. Seaver was quite lovely, he added. We're still in touch. I think this was an excellent decision. You know, they used to say you don't where you eat. And if things would have went south between these two, this show might not have lasted the many seasons that it did, because nothing is worse than dating tension in a workplace environment. Smart decision, Mr. Thicke. May he rest in peace. At number 9, Tracy Gold was not the original Carol. Elizabeth Ward played Carol. Yep, that Elizabeth Ward. In the unaired original plot, Tracy Gold had auditioned for the role but was initially not cast.
When I auditioned for Growing Pains, at first I didn't get it. Oh. There was a different Carol Seaver for the pilot, and they cast somebody else because I think they didn't think that I was like bookwormy enough and stuff like that. When they shot the pilot, then they tested it and they recast the part. They realized they wanted a different Carol Seaver, and so then I went in and auditioned for it again multiple times and did like chemistry tests with Kirk Cameron, and I ended up getting it. So it was literally, I went to read for the network, got a call, I got the part, and I was doing a TV Guide photo shoot that afternoon.
Gold ended up leaving Growing Pains to deal with her very public battle with anorexia, but returned for the show's finale. She has since appeared in television movies and reunion movies for Growing Pains, as well as former shows such as Touched by an Angel, Diagnosis Murder, and Promised Land. I am a firm believer in what's yours is yours and no one can take it from you. Tracy Gold was meant for this role. Not to say that Elizabeth Ward wasn't good, but I cannot imagine this show without Tracy Gold. She did a fantastic job, and I'm glad she eventually got the part. At number 8, Dan Lauria was cast in The Wonder Years because of growing pains. Remember the show The Wonder Years? That was a great show. Remember the dad in the show The Wonder Years? That was Dan Lauria.
I had done 2 episodes of Growing Pains, and Joanna Kearns and I were going out, and The Wonder Years came up, and my agent couldn't get me in. And Joanna said, you know, Neil likes you. You should call him. And I said, nah, that's so unprofessional. I'm not going to do that. Well, she walked in the room and called him.
You know, they always say it's who you know, not what you know. I love The Wonder Years. We'll cover The Wonder Years on this channel. And I can't imagine anyone else playing the dad but him. He did a fantastic job, but shout out to Joanna Kearns for even speaking up and being willing to get him the audition. She must have really cared about him. At number 7, Kirk Cameron and Tracy Gold had played siblings before. The two played brother and sister in a McDonald's commercial.
Shorty to McDonald's. Curly.
Really?
They also appeared in the 1982 made-for-TV movie Beyond Witch Mountain. In Kirk Cameron's book, Still Growing, he says this: I first met Tracy Gold when we played brother and sister in a McDonald's commercial. We met again in the made-for-television movie Beyond Witch Mountain. Later, she played a cheerleader while I played a football star in the Robin Williams / Kurt Russell film The Best of Times. She was cute, she was good, and she was always working on something. I had a bit of a crush on her at the time, which probably sounds a bit creepy to the rest of the world who think of us as siblings. Again, we're coming back to Destiny. Look, they had actually worked with each other multiple times before, so already had the chemistry when they got to the set of Growing Pains. Mike and Carol Seaver's brother and sister relationship was fantastic. However, some of the jokes that they threw back, like a lot of those fat jokes on Carol, that would not fly today. That aged like milk. That did not go well, but it was great to see them work together. At number 6, Matthew Perry's death was long planned. Future Friends star Matthew Perry played Carol's boyfriend Sandy for 3 episodes during the show's 4th season. Sandy died from injuries sustained after drinking while driving in the episode's Second Chance. The executive producers got the idea for the episode after one of their teenage daughters was caught drinking. They decided to sacrifice a character that had appeared in multiple episodes to have the death resonate with the show's young audience. This is heartbreaking. I love Matthew Perry's comedic ability. I wasn't the biggest fan of Friends. I didn't dislike it, but when I watched it purely for him. He was a fantastic talent, and it's a tragedy of a situation where I feel like his life was taken too soon. And sometimes you wondering, is foreshadowing real? Number 5, Kirk Cameron's future wife played his girlfriend on the show. Cameron met Chelsea Noble on the set of Full House, where he was visiting his sister Candace Cameron, who, of course, played DJ Tanner on the show. Noble then landed a recurring role on Growing Pains, playing Kate McDonald, Mike's love interest after Julie. Mike proposed to Kate in the 1992 series finale, which was just a year after Kirk Cameron and Noble married in real life.
For those of you who don't know his woman, her name is Chelsea Noble, and she also plays your girl on the show.
My girlfriend on the show, right?
Yeah, where's she?
There she is.
Damn, Kurt! Good work, my young brother. When did you get engaged officially?
We got engaged over Christmas time. Just after Christmas, just before New Year's.
Yeah. Were you scared?
I was nervous.
Oh.
Man, I was nervous. But I wasn't scared. I knew it was what I wanted to do.
And where exactly were you when you proposed?
I was back in Chelsea's hometown in New York.
Oh. Yeah.
So we were there. We went out to dinner and just had a real nice dinner. And dinner lasted about 3 hours, and I was dying by that time. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the evening, I asked her to marry me.
At number 4, Tracy Gold battled with anorexia.
So I went on a diet, and I didn't really think too much of it. I'm like, I'll just go on a diet
be done with it, lose the weight, and it'll be fine. And I started to lose weight really quickly because I went on a really extreme diet. And everybody coming up to me, it actually kind of messed with my head. And it made me feel like, did I look that bad before? Were people talking behind my back? Was my perception of myself wrong? So I never wanted to be anybody's fool again. And I was like, that's it. I'm like, I am never going to take that chance that someone's talking about me or that I'm going to be blindsided like this. So I sort of was like, I need to control this.
And it was actually written into scripts.
It was, yeah.
There were jokes about your weight.
And I come from a family of girls. I'm the oldest of 5 girls. And so the producers would say, no, it's, it's brother-sister banter. This is the way that they interact. You just don't know that. But then it became, well, now you need to lose weight.
I can't imagine the pressure she must have been under as a young woman. Especially in the 80s, weight was a big thing. Diet pills were a big thing. If you weren't looking like a supermodel weighing less than 150 pounds, you got scrutinized publicly. I'm glad we are out of that space now here in 2025. But she, not only just being a woman in that age or a young woman at that time, and being in Hollywood at that time, that's a double effect. And that could have wrecked her life. And it almost did, but I am so glad to see she fought hard and fought back. That's amazing. Number 3, the show had a spinoff. Growing Pains had a spinoff called Just the 10 of Us, which centered on the character Coach Lubbock, played by Bill Kirchenbauer, a friend of the Seaver family, and his large family of children. It lasted only 3 seasons, however. I honestly liked Just the 10 of Us. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. I think the problem with Just the 10 of Us was it just kind of fell into the multitude of 80s family sitcoms back then, and it didn't really have any major thing that stood out. I was, and most of America, I think, were watching things like Who's the Boss and Full House, things like Growing Pains, and I just think this one kind of just fell under the radar. At number 2, Kirk Cameron's religious transformation. During the show's run, Kirk Cameron experienced a religious transformation, which led him to become a devout Christian. The shift influenced both his personal life and his character's development on the show, with some of his later storylines focusing on moral and spiritual themes.
Spine that holds me up, the only pillar that I depend on is the fear of the Lord,
yes,
which is the beginning of wisdom, the Bible says, and just understanding that God's given me so much more than I deserve. If He gave me what I deserve, I would be a pile of smoking ashes on this coffee table.
Same.
And I recognize that. And yet, the fear of the Lord has brought me to a place of a love for God. Jesus is all important to me because He's forgiven me, He's granted me eternal life, and I want to live my life in a way that says thank you.
I gotta say, this is probably one of the most controversial things about the show that some may know and some may not. Kirk Cameron has gone through a lot of praise for his transformation, and he's gone through a lot of criticism for his transformation. There's even a group that formed to get him out of Hollywood because of his Christian views. And there were a lot of rumors saying that he affected casting, he affected storylines. That's allegedly. But sometimes when you feel you're changing for the better, everyone else might not share that viewpoint of the change. And Kirk Cameron has definitely paid his dues for it. At number 1, the series was extremely popular in China. Growing Pains was the first American sitcom to be shown in China. Alan Thicke recalls that when he visited China, reporters asked him about his parenting philosophy, such as how he would punish Mike if he didn't complete his homework, or how Carol would be disciplined if she came home late.
Ask any Chinese which American sitcom has impacted them the most. I bet 9 out of 10 will tell you it's Growing Pains, a show that many young Americans unfortunately don't know about. Nonetheless, a classic that was and still is extremely dear to millions of Chinese. Growing up, I watched it over and over, as it was put on air multiple times throughout my childhood and early adolescence. We remember the dad, Jason Seaver, who taught everything through his wicked sense of humor, and mom, Maggie Seaver, that some Chinese kids secretly hope could replace their own tiger moms. In December 2016, upon learning the death of actor Alan Thicke, millions of Chinese felt as if a piece of our childhood was literally stripped away from our hearts. Alan Thicke may never know, but the legacy and role model he created in our beloved TV dad Jason Seaver keeps on shaping the parenting dynamics of an entire generation throughout China.
That's fantastic that this show had the extended reach that it actually did. To make it all the way over there and become a hit over there, that's amazing. That shows you the influence and great acting of this cast led by Alan Thicke again. That's amazing. Who didn't love this show? Who didn't love this show? And that's all we have for you today on Gen Excellence. 10 things you might not have known about growing pains. Did you know all 10? Was there something that I left out? Do you have something to add? Please let me know down in the comments. If you like this type of content, you like to take the nostalgia ride with me, please like, comment, and share the video, and subscribe, of course. But that's all we have for today. Look, thank you for taking the journey with me on a look back on some of the greatest decades we've ever had and ever been through. I'll be back with more, and y'all know what to do, right? Love you, love somebody else, and I'll see y'all real soon.